Hello everybody. Welcome in Run Runners. My name is Charles Barton, otherwise known as Viridian, and you're watching the Achroma weekly live stream for the 3rd of September. Hope you're all doing well. Well, welcome back, folks. It's been it feels ages since I've done a normal Achroma weekly stream, because obviously, yeah, it does feel like it's been a bit. We took a break last week because the week before I did the 24-hour stream, which I appreciate we did do a weekly stream at the end of that, but it wasn't really a normal one. So it's been about 3 weeks since we've done like just a standard Achroma weekly. So yeah, welcome in everybody. Hope you are well. We always like to have a look at the question that was asked first. So whilst we were waiting patiently for the stream to start, the question was just simply, which faction or palette have you been enjoying most recently? So Lewis was the first one to come in. Welcome in, Lewis, to the stream. Great to have you as always. Pixies for sure. And yeah, we've been having a bit of a discussion in the chat about the fact that, yeah, you're going to be playing them for the next Achromata, which obviously is it's less than a month away. So yeah, to start thinking about who you want to fight for Sparata. Welcome in, Heron. Can't really say, to be honest, but not been playing a lot, but I've been enjoying my HOD at Wishwell. Yeah, that's always a really fun palette to play. You know, I enjoy playing against it. Welcome in, Antonomy. Good to see you, buddy. So we're aiming for another Acron win. Yeah. So as I was saying, I'm personally neutral for this one. I'm pretty much going to play whichever palettes I see fit. You know, as much as I loved playing for Drakes last season, it meant that the entire season I could only play Acron palettes. And I really miss my current palettes. So yeah, it'd be nice to kind of play whatever I want next season. But yeah, welcome in, folks. Glad to have you in. So for those that are new to the Achroma Weekly, on the screen now is the kind of schedule of events that you can expect to see. Welcome in, Taurus. Going to be playing a Draco deck for the tournament. I'm repping Lost Fairies and can't be bothered to play Raiders. You know what? A lot of people seem to be in that camp of like, hey, I could play Raiders, but I'll play something different. But yeah, Lost Fairies should be good. Welcome in, Taurus. So yeah, we're going to start with some Achroma news, events, and previews. As per the title suggests of this stream, the kind of the big news and preview today is going to be release dates for Draco 2. As in Draco Chronicle 2. And we do have some more art to show you. We're then going to have our usual Realm Table community discussion, in which today I'm being joined by Lewis, and we're going to talk through 3 of the most talked about topics currently in the Discord and in the community, and just to have that kind of open discussion about, you know, about these particular topics. We'll talk more when we get there. And then, as always, we'll have the community showcase at the end, and that's where we like to shine a light on you guys in the community as to some of the amazing artwork and palettes you've been creating in the last 2 weeks, really, because obviously it's been 2 weeks since the last one. So yeah, that is the plan. Yeah, they were my first real optimized deck, so I'll give them a proper shot at the tourney, but I'll be spamming Pixies for next season. Okay, so you want Pixies to win as well. Much like Drakes and Draco, just more Pixies, please. I mean, I think Pixies are very strong as they are, but admittedly so are Fairies, so I guess either way could be fine. All right, let's get started then, folks, with the Achroma news. So, starting with Kickstarter news. So, less of a brand new news story, more of a reminder that if those that haven't seen, the playmats are up for pre-order. So if you go to our website now, go to shop, go to pre-orders, you can see all the playmats can currently be pre-ordered. No changes since we last updated you a couple of weeks ago, that they will literally be here when they get here. You know, the ETA was sometime mid-September, so hopefully it should be literally, you know, it could be any day now, really. It just depends on when the delivery gets through our door. And as a reminder, anybody that backed on Kickstarter for a playmat, yours have already been allocated and will be sent out straight away. And anybody that pre-orders will be sent out as well. So, you know, anybody that has pre-ordered or Kickstarter back, it doesn't really matter which way, you've definitely got one of those playmats on that ship is for you. And as soon as they come in, we'll let you know. The other bit of news for the sorry, not for the TTRPG, although it is for the Kickstarter, is that I mean, this is very much a kind of off the cuff image, but we have some new TTRPG dice samples coming in next week. So for those that didn't know, those that backed us in the Kickstarter and got the pledge goals, you are all due to get a pack of Achroma TTRPG dice. And the dice themselves, I'm sure, will be for sale at some point for just people that didn't back. But yeah, for those who didn't know, we got some early some early samples months and months ago. And although they were very cool, you might have seen them in some of our videos. The issue was we weren't too happy with the quality of them. We felt that the coloring too easily could rub off. So we've been trying to source other samples, really. And so we've got some more dice samples arriving next week. So hopefully, if they come and we are happy with the quality and we like them, then obviously we could just press the button, get some more ordered, and get those to ASAP. So more of just an update, you know, no real ETAs, but just it's quite cool to see that the dice are being actively worked on, and hopefully, you know, hopefully we'll have an update for you next week as to how well they're doing. Welcome in, Ashley. Great to see you. I can't wait to continue my dice addiction thanks to Achroma. Oh, I know. I can't wait for them as well. Metal dice when? Oh, that would be really nice. That would be nice. Maybe that can be something down the line we do. But yeah, so that is the Achroma dice. Next bit of news is about the Achroma cast. Now, unfortunately, not all news is good news. So some of you might not even realize the Achroma cast exists. The viewer base is quite low. But what we've been doing for the last sort of, I think the last like 10 to 14 Achroma weeklies is we had been uploading the audio of this stream onto Spotify, Google Music, and all the others. And we'd also been doing a weekly YouTube short recap. And when I say we, it's been myself doing those. The news essentially, for the time being, we're going to stop doing the Achroma cast and stop doing the Achroma weekly short, which I have no doubt that to some that's going to be a little bit disappointing, because I know that some people, you know, did listen to the Achroma cast, and I know that some people did rely on the YouTube short to be able to catch up on, you know, this stream quickly. The reason we're doing it, folks, is we're currently having a bit of a reshuffle with how we do our YouTube content and where best our time is, you know, again, for not everybody knows this, but we're a very, very small indie team, and most of the people that work for Achroma do not work for Achroma full time because we all have other jobs. So managing where our workload goes, what do we actually put our hours towards, is always a tricky subject. So we're having a little bit of a relook at our YouTube upload schedule. You know, what videos do we actually want to be producing? When do we want to produce them? And for the time being, we're deciding that the Achroma cast and YouTube weekly short, the amount of time that goes into those isn't necessarily, it could be better placed elsewhere. So for the time being, exactly, yeah, you know, it's not like the content's disappearing. As Lewis just said in the chat, you can still listen to the previous live stream on YouTube. I appreciate if you don't have YouTube Premium, you can't lock your phone, so you'd have to leave your phone unlocked, but you can still have your phone in your car playing YouTube through speaker. You know, you can still listen to it. I appreciate the YouTube weekly short, you know, some people might prefer it in 60 seconds rather than 60 minutes, but yeah, again, it doesn't mean that it won't necessarily come back in the future. It's just that for the time being, whilst we reassess where our workload going and how we can best give the best content to you guys, those two things will be temporarily stopping. So I do apologize if that is disappointing news for anybody, but yeah, that is one little bit of news with that. Oh, now the next bit of news is really, really interesting. So I must admit, this surprised me. So this is something that I wasn't expecting to talk about this week, and then suddenly I was given the green light to talk about it, and I'm excited. So, though, again, some of you will remember this because a lot of you have been in the community for a while. Others that are new won't know this, so I will explain. That going back to first quarter of this year, we ran a competition. Where people could draw alt art of cards they liked, and we were going to be taking some of the best ones and producing them into alt art cards. So there were 48 alt art cards created earlier this year, and I believe 12 of them were community drawn. Welcome in, Nutritious. Welcome in, Darth. So yeah, we are going to be opening up a new competition to do Cove alt cards. So we're going to be looking for 3 alt art Cove cards to be community drawn. Now keep in mind, you know, there will be more alt art cards than that in the future, but if you remember back to the previous alt art cards, not all of them were community drawn. Some were done by Feral Child Animation Studio, some were done as concept art. So we are looking to get 3 community drawn Curdle Cove alt art cards. So just like before, we're going to run a competition. Darth, I'll answer your question in a moment, but I will explain how this is going to work. Now, all of this will be in Discord after the stream as well, so you can keep an eye out for there. Welcome in playing Achroma. So how it will work then, folks. You have 2 weeks, so you have until the 17th of September, 2 weeks from now, to get creative. What we want you guys to do is pick your favorite Curdle Cove card and draw an alternate style version. So, anything you want, really. And we are going to be picking 3 of the best ones to turn into alt art cards. Now, we are going to set a couple of limitations. Welcome in, Bullet. Good to see you. So a few of the limitations. Firstly, we ask that you do not choose any of the legendary cards. Sorry if that was your fat idea, Taurus. Yeah, please do not do any of the legendary cards because we have, potential plans for some of those. So choose a card that is rare, uncommon, or common. Secondly, of the 3 winners that we pick, we're going to pick 1 from each faction. So, it might be that your drawing is amazing, but if we've already picked 1 for, the Sea Witches, then yours might not get picked. So we are looking to get 1 from each of the factions. Now, the same rules as drawing before. Please do not double up any characters. So, for example, don't suddenly put, Benji and the Veil Chaser Cat in the same card. Unfortunately, you can't mix and match characters. But obviously, you can take a character, put them in a different pose, redesign them, design them in your own image, put them in cool locations. It could be an action card, it could be a location, whatever you want, really. It just can't be legendary, and please do not mix and match cards together. But yes, what else is there to mention about that? So yeah, in terms of what to do with your entry. So once you have drawn your entry, you need to send it as a DM to myself in Discord, Viridian in Discord. Or if you aren't in the Discord, you can send it via Facebook Messenger, or through our emails as well. But Discord through me is the best place. They'll get all sent to the team, and then in 2 weeks' time, we will look through all the submissions and choose our 3 favorites, 1 per faction. Now, then what will happen following this is that we will have them turned into Achroma cards. So we will get one of our talented Achroma artists to take your design. They'll likely upscale it, draw it to the same sort of, not saying that anybody can't draw the same quality of our artist, but we'll try and get it on par with our other cards. And then it will be obviously printed and go out, just like the other art cards. Obviously, for winning, not only do you get to, say, hey, I helped draw one of the Achroma cards, but all of the winners will also receive copies of the 3 new alt art cards as well. So, you'll get some cards as a reward. But yeah, so you have 2 weeks to do that. Exciting times. Let me know if you have any questions. In the meantime, let me catch up with chat a little bit. So welcome in, Darth. Tora said, perhaps a weekly update post in the Discord could fill the void. Yeah, you know what? I think that's a good shout, Taurus. That's something that I could definitely do. Just do a quick kind of like bullet point. Hey, here's what you missed with timestamps. Maybe that could be quite good. I like that, Taurus. Darth said, on a related to the cast, are we going to get audio from the RPG sessions? Yes, Darth. My plan is to get those uploaded. I don't know where they'll be uploaded, but the plan is to get those up ASAP now that I finished running those one-shots. Absolutely, Darth. They all got recorded. Evening, Nutritious. Good to see you. Welcome in playing Achroma. Hi, you all might have to watch some repeat as starting bedtime with the kids. That is perfectly fine. Unless what I could do for you playing Achroma, I could get my voice to a hush-hush level, and maybe this could almost be like the kids' story time. Like Achroma story time before bed. Maybe have some Achroma kid stories. But no worries at all. Welcome in, James. Great to see you. Do we need to have good drawings? Oh, great point as well, Lewis. Thanks for bringing that up. No, you do not have to have great drawings. Although this is an art competition, this is not a I'm really glad you brought this up, Lewis. This is not a competition about who can draw the best, because we appreciate that not everyone in the community draws. This is about whose idea do we like the best. So it doesn't matter, even if your drawing is literally a stick drawing on a napkin. I know we made that joke before, but yeah, it doesn't matter even if you do like a stick drawing. If we like the concept, we like the idea, we'll then have one of our artists take that idea and draw it into a full card. We are, don't get me wrong, we will be impressed by good drawings, but to be very clear, we're not picking the best drawn image, we're drawing the best creative designs. So do not worry if you're not, creatively imbued. And, please don't feel like you can't enter just because you quote unquote can't draw. Just give it a go, have some fun with it. The only thing we won't be accepting is please don't send in just text-based ideas. Don't just send don't put an entry which is, oh, my alt art would be, veil chaser cats climbing steering the veil chaser. We want to actually see your drawings, not just ideas only. But yeah, good point, Lewis. Taurus says, I have a fat idea already. Nope, I'm looking at one of the summon action. Okay, awesome. I look forward to seeing that, Taurus. Especially non-heroics, you probably have much more you can change about them. Yeah, very true. Welcome in, Rich. Great to see you. Hi, all. Peace being slow. That is all right. If only I could draw. Yeah, not a problem. It just doesn't have to be good at drawing. Welcome in, Sarah. Great to see you. How you doing? Sing a lullaby. That would be cute. Achroma ASMR. Me crying over my entire canvas wiped. Oh, no. Can't draw my curtains. You'd be fine, Rich. I could also record narration of Achroma stories for bedtimes. I heard of quite a good reading voice. That'd be cool. That would be cool. But yeah, so that is the drawing competition. So I'll post it all in the Discord post-stream, but hopefully you guys are excited by that. And to be very clear, in case anyone asks as well, so I do want them to be DM'd to me as they get entered. The reason why I haven't asked you guys to post them in the Discord is I wouldn't want people to be discouraged. I wouldn't want somebody to see someone else's drawing and go, oh, they've already done that. Well, I don't want to do that now. I mean, if people want to post in the Discord, they can, but to be very clear, you do not need to post your entries in the Discord. You just need to send them directly to me, please, Viridian on Discord, to enter them. But yes, that is the alt art competition. You have 2 weeks until the 17th of September. Let me know if you have any questions. Yeah. We'll definitely do that, Lewis. I think we did that. I think we did that last time, didn't we? Where we looked at all of the entries after the winners have been selected. I think we did it on the stream where we showed. Did we show all the entries, or did we show only the ones that succeeded? I think we actually might have only shown the succeeded ones. Maybe we'll show all of them next time. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I think I'm wrong. I think we only showed the ones that did end up making the cut. So maybe we'll show all of them next time. That makes sense. Cool. So that is that bit of news. Yeah, it was only the winners. So the next bit of news is, it's the usual, folks, Draco Summer. We are in the last month of the Draco Summer season, and, a lot of Draco Summers have gone out the door. I don't know how many left we have stock-wise, but if you haven't already got your Draco Summer, then you should definitely get your orders in. Spend over £30 online in store at Five Realms Gaming Lounge, or any other selected stockist. Some of them do it, and you can get your Draco Summer promo card sent to you as well. Or you can catch us at any of our, for example, you come to our grand tournament soon. I know there's a tournament happening at Hidden Gem next week that we're going to talk about in a moment, which I forgot to get the image for. But yes, go to any of the events as well to pick one up. I definitely recommend you guys do so. And I just realized that I didn't save an image, so I'm just going to take this quickly. There you go. That's better. Right, where we go. Quick device and there, folks. But yeah, so make sure to get that. I'm hoping to grab one of the GT. Yeah, so we're going to make sure that we do it the same way as we did before, Taurus. We're going to make sure we put some aside for the grand tournament and for pre-orders of the Chapter 2 as well, because we're aware that we had a slight issue with that last time, so those will get pre-allocated, don't you worry. Can't wait to be drawing Hinkley falling out of the pub. That would be amazing, Ashley. That actually sounds like a really good idea. I want to see that. A bit off topic, but I've not heard anything about the giveaway I won. I thought I had messaged you, Heron. Yeah, Heron, I messaged you on Discord. I haven't, and you haven't replied. Check Discord, Heron. I don't think you ever got back to me on that. So message me on Discord, and we'll get that sorted. Big, that answers Lewis's question too. Great to hear. Yes, absolutely. Cool, so that is the Draco Summer. Now, in terms of events coming up, folks, so as always, we like to mention it. If you live down in Poole and can make it to the Five Realms Gaming Lounge in Poole, Yeah, no worries, Aaron. Message me in Discord and we'll get that sorted today for you. But yeah, Thursday, 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. we always do the Achroma Thursdays, which is a essentially almost like a mini competition where it's £2 entry. Again, that's the wrong image. I have the right image and I've put the wrong image on there. That's my bad. It's not £5 entry, it's £2 entry. And you turn up with your best palettes and run a little competition, and there are prizes that you can win. Prizes are kind of increased based on how many players come down. There is also casual play as well, so come down, Achroma Thursdays, 5 Realm Gaming Lounge. It's always a great vibe. There is another oh, this is where I need to change my image because I didn't put the image in this time. So there is another tournament happening coming this week. So this Friday, on Friday the 8th of September, there is the Hidden Gem Realms Collide tournament. So this is at 6:30 at Hidden Gem, one of the Achroma stockists in Pool. And as it says there, the border between realms is getting thinner, realms are colliding in this twist on canvas. So it's the standard canvas format, but when you build your palette, you can build your palette from any realm. So you can completely ignore the realm symbol, allowing for some crazy combos. They're going to be giving away some unlimited boxes of prizes. You can also get a promo card for going there. And there's also a little meal deal bundle as well. So definitely check that out. You know, there was some really, really good feedback from some of the last Hidden Gem tournaments. I think they had one recently that was Achroma wins only a few weeks ago. So definitely check that out coming at this Friday. So, you know, if you bring your best palette to 5 Realms on Thursday, then Hidden Gem on Friday, you could be getting yourself a bucket load of Achroma cards for just playing well. Tora says, I keep seeing the V in 5 Realms as a looming triangle. What's wrong with me? Brilliant. So yeah, that is the Hidden Gem tournament. And when it feels like I've been saying this for a while, but we've got there. So the Achroma Grand Tournament, which is happening on the Saturday, 23rd of September, we now do have tickets live for sale. So you can see the link down below if you want to go and purchase your ticket for the Grand Tournament. You'll notice that it's on the 5 Realms Gaming website rather than the Achroma Cards website. So don't just go to achroma.cards to buy it. You've got to go to the 5 Realms Gaming Lounge website. But yeah, you can buy your ticket now. Brilliant. Glad to see that some of you already got your tickets. That's amazing. Hopefully I'll be there as well. Welcome in, Shah. Good to see you. But yeah, it's going to be a great time. The Grand Tournament is always brilliant. It's always got big prizes, big energy. It should be fantastic. Kaz, welcome in. I missed the design competition. Will it be on Discord after the stream? Yes, it absolutely will, Kaz. Keep an eye on the giveaways channel. I can give you the 30-second short rundown, Kaz. Pick your favorite Curdle Cove card and draw an alternate art version of it. Can't be the legendary card. Can't be legendary card, so it has to be a rare or uncommon or common. And we're going to be picking 3 of our favorites, 1 per faction, and we will be getting them printed as alt art cards, and the winners will also get copies of the raw arts. You've got 2 weeks to do it, but I'll put all the rest of the details in the Discord later. But yeah, so that is the Achroma Grand Tournament. Get your tickets now, folks. Now, here comes the big news, folks. The previews. So, firstly, I've got some previews. Can we enter 1 card per faction or only 1 card total? I'm gonna say 1 total, Lewis. Actually, no. I think it's fair that no, I think it's fine. If you want to do multiple entries, there's nothing wrong with that. But be aware, we will only select 1 of your entries. I think that's fair. If you want to do multiple entries because you got multiple ideas, yeah, eat your heart out. Draw as many as you want. Get creative. But we will keep track of whose drawings are whose, and we will only pick 1 of yours if we pick 1 of yours. I think that's fair, right? Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But yes, to the previews. So I have some Chapter 2 Draco previews for you today, folks. A couple of caveats before I do, but this is going to be exciting. So firstly, what I'm going to be showing you today is not going to be any actual cards, as I'm not going to be showing you any abilities. The reason why, and the playtesters will know this, is that although the abilities are set, they're pretty much ready to go, a lot of them are still being tweaked, last minute tweaks as they're being playtested. And what we don't want to do is what we've done in previous releases, where we've shown you a card and then 4 weeks later when you get your hands on the cards, it's completely changed and it's like, oh, I thought that card was different. Yeah, Veil Chase comes to mind, exactly. So what we don't want to do is show you any card abilities until the cards have actually been sent off to the printer, which will be very, very soon, as we'll discuss in a moment. So as soon as they've been sent off to the printer, then we'll start throwing loads of actual card previews your way. What I've got instead for you is artwork and names of artwork. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of artwork, and the final image I'm going to show you is we've actually got the Draco Chapter 2 name for you, and a surprise at the end. So stick around to the end. We've got some surprise. Previews, let's go. Drumroll, please. Got mine already? Brilliant, James. All right, so the first one is Boom Moshka, which... Anybody recognize Boom at all? Very much a fluffy dragon. Looks very much like a Dexter dragon. It does indeed. It does indeed, yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna rearrange these images slightly. I wonder if it will, if I rearrange this now, will it work? I'm gonna show you the next one at the same time. Is this gonna work? No, hold on. I'm just gonna skip. No. Because we also, I should have done it in this order. We also have Crackle, which is also Dexter's dragon. So yes, we have some of Dexter's dragons and similar dragons that will come out. And to be very clear, these are cards that are going to be in Draco Chapter 2. So really exciting. So no, they won't. These aren't part of the Dexter's dragon set that we sneak peeked a while ago. These are part of Draco Chapter 2. Make him a markable plushie now. You know what? I actually think, go back a while ago, I think it actually was sold as a plushie somewhere when they were raising money for Dexter originally. But maybe we could bring it back. That would be awesome. No, the egg has not hatched. Unfortunately, no. This is one of Dexter's dragons. But yeah, so Crackle and Boom, because if I just go back for a second, back to the first one, you are going to see a slight teaser there. Oh no, it has rearranged now. Awesome. Yeah, so Crackle and Boom are the dragons that protect Dexter. So yes, we are getting those in this set, which is, I mean, look, the drawings are amazing. I absolutely love them. They are great. Yeah, it's great, right? All right, so let's look at the next character we've got here. You might have seen a slight sneak peek of it as I went past it. So we have Fibron. Now, this is the first time I'm seeing these as well. I've seen the thumbnails of them, but it's the first time I get a good look at them. And wow, look at how cool this is. More like I'm no dragon expert here, but it almost looks like more like a wyvern. Am I right in saying it's yeah, it looks very demonic, doesn't it? With, you know, the very bat-like wings, the extra claws, the horns. I mean, look at that snarl. Hold on, let me just zoom in a little bit there. Look at that. Yeah, that looks very Achroma to me. I wonder if that's, I genuinely don't know, folks. I wonder whether that's a drake or whether it's something different. Is it a creature? Very, very cool. And you know what? Credit where credit's due. I quite like that actually it's not very chromatic. I like that it's kind of just white. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, Lewis. Maybe all drakes are black. An ancient drake, who knows? I genuinely don't know. I imagine if I was a betting man, I would probably say, yeah, it's like you know what, gargoyle is the right word, Lord. Welcome in, by the way. I would say it's quite gargoyle-like. If I was a betting man, considering that we do know the factions now, and we know one of the factions is the creatures of Altari, I would potentially take a gamble that this is a creature rather than a dragon or a drake. But yeah, or could be an evil dragon. Yeah, very cool. All right, let's see the next one then. Dragons have 4 legs and wings. Wyverns have 2 legs and a set of front wings. Okay, so yeah, I am wrong there. I did say I'm no expert. So it is a dragon. It just could be some form of ancient dragon or like a gargoyle or something. Very cool. So the next one, some of you sneakily saw on the recent image that we had a poster for the grand tournament put in the Discord, and there was some sneak peek images on that. So I appreciate some of you have already seen this, but now you get to see them in kind of bigger image. So yes, this is Rathma, the 3-headed. I would say some might call it a dog, some might call it a wolf. Either way, they're a good boy, and we know that. What the dog doing? Yeah, I really like this one as well. Yeah, it's fluffy. I mean, we already know that it's got quite a monkey-like tail as well. You know, we know that this set is now going to be, you know, set in a frozen land, as it were, some form of kind of Arctic land. So I imagine that most of the characters are going to be fluffy and you know, and warm. Cerberus vibes, absolutely. Again, I know nothing about this card. I really hope that Rathma has some lore where each head like has its own name or personality or something. I mean, that would be perfect, wouldn't it? Okay, this is obviously we're not doing alt arts yet, but do you guys agree with me that whenever we get around to doing an alt art for this set, we need a Rathma alt art that is, you know the meme that is the 3 dragon heads where 2 are serious and then one is just really derpy? We need, I mean, maybe someone could just do that as a community drawing art, but we need that, but for Rathma, that'd be hilarious. What have we got here in the chat? Fluffy, yeah, glad me and Sarah Jane on the same page. Yes, that'd be perfect. That'd be great. Exactly, yeah. I'm glad you guys are agreeing with me here. So that is Rathma. Now, another one. This next one also was slightly sneak peeked on that poster, but now you guys get to see them. I say them because I don't know gender for them, but Kakora, who is this kind of anthropomorphic, I would say cat, but I also get a little bit of monkey. Kind of a cat monkey. Yeah, it's more cat. Yeah, it's definitely more cat, isn't it? Yeah, this is probably more the neutral faction. I love the fact that he's got, I can't say he now, just default to that. They've got that cool staff. They clearly have some form of bow and arrow because they have the arrows on the back as well. But yeah, very, very cool. Probably the neutral faction, but definitely still one you wouldn't want to cross on the street having a bad day by the looks of it because they look pretty scary. 2 are fighting over food and one's just getting pets. That would be awesome, Taurus. I like that. But yeah, love this one as well. It's great to see so many fluffy characters. And I will show you the next one, because the next one is also a fluffy character. You ready for this? So we've seen 3-headed dogs. We've seen dragons. We've seen some form of gargoyle, but could be a dragon. We've seen cats. Would you like another animal? Okay, guesses in chat. 1 guess per person. Guess which animal you think I'm about to put on screen. Think Arctic. Fox, I hope. Penguin. Oh my god, penguin would be great. Polar bear. We have already seen a bear. In fairness, we have already seen a polar bear. For those that didn't see it, I'll bring it up. Let me just find the... Where did I put that image? Is it? Let me get it from Discord quickly. Because for those that didn't see it, I do want to at least show it. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, so there you go. This is the polar bear that we'd already seen. So we have already seen a polar bear. Ignore the Major Sleep Detective. That was just a placeholder. But yeah, so we have already seen a polar bear. So I just wanted to make a point of that one. So let's see what we got in chat. So we got fox, penguin, polar bear. Welcome into this, by the way. Arctic hare, penguin or fox, bear. Let me bring this image back up. Seal, fox. If it's not an almond penguin, I will freak. Walrus. If it's not a bear, yeah, walrus would be next guess. Walrus can't be a penguin from the Arctic, unfortunately. Yeah, no, this character will be cannily a Major Slate now, yeah. Okay, so to be very clear, there might still be more animals, folks. This is only we've only got so many previews today. But there was someone in chat that was correct. It was indeed a hare. So well done to Taurus, who got it right. We got Spinker hare. And yeah, I agree. This is creepy. It's a creepy one, isn't it? It's more of a kangaroo. I mean, I don't know size-wise. It looks like it's quite big. But yeah, now we just want people wanting penguins. But yeah, so we have Spinker hare. So again, we did learn the factions the other week. And we know one of the factions is the Creatures of Altari. So I imagine this is going to be there as well. Hey, there could still be penguins, there could still be foxes, there could still be walruses and seals and others. We don't know just yet. Vampire hair thing, get him away from me. I mean, it's cool. It is very, very cool. It's definitely not as cute and fluffy as others, but He is cool. I like it a lot. But it's just really cool that we're getting so many like animals in this one, not necessarily just kind of small creatures as well. Taurus, I'm filing a restraining order on him. Can't wait for the Lord for this one. Oh, the Lord. Yeah, me too. This rabbit can bench the bear. Yeah, a hair. Hair today, gone tomorrow. Hey, very nice, Rich. I like it. Donnie Darko vibes. I don't know the reference myself. But yeah, so there we go, Spinker hair. So we've got some. So those are the animal previews for you this week. So just to kind of go over that again, so we've seen Boom, we've seen Crackle, Fibron, Rathma, Kakora, and Spinker hair. All of these images will be in the Discord post stream as well for you guys to get your eyes on and get theory crafting. Welcome in, Lee. Darth here. Unrelated note, but my Slurpuff in Pokemon just wiped half a post team. Very nice. Good job. We only really saw nice stuff in the first sets. Oh, sorry. What other creepy creatures are in this world? We only really saw nice stuff in the first set. Yeah. Who knows? Cool. So, would you guys like to see the big news? I suppose you probably do want to see the big news. Nah, that's it. So the big news is I can now reveal to you the name of this chapter. The Last Snow Dragons of Altari. We are aiming to ship on the last Friday of this month. And folks, no one spotted it already, but pre-orders are live. The link is down below. It's been live for the last 2 hours. I was really hoping that nobody would notice on the website because I didn't want somebody in Discord to be like, oh, look, it's live, and then spoil it for my stream. But it is now live, folks. You can go and get your pre-order right now. Now, I do want to mention, folks, about the shipping date. To be very clear, we are fully aware that we're shipping this much later than we initially intended. Going back to when we first explained the seasons, we normally we've been trying to get out the next chronicle in kind of the end of the second month of the season. Really, the cards, we wanted the cards to be in your hands now, sort of thing. But as a reminder, we are a small indie company. We can obviously only work so fast, and the biggest thing for us is we never, and I'm sure you guys appreciate this, we never want to rush cards into your hands and then make mistakes. There was being honest and transparent with the community. We had a little bit of a issue with I say issue, that's probably a strong word. We had a little bit of a delay on the artwork. We couldn't get the artwork as quick as we needed this time around. Again, for those artists out there, you can't rush artwork. That's why we haven't had as many previews up until quite recently. We can only apologize for those that wanted it sooner. But exactly, as Lewis said in chat, better to be late than rushed. We'd rather deliver you guys the same quality of Achroma cards that you guys are used to, the same quality ability as well. We've been listening loads to the playtest team, and playtesters are still ongoing as well. We are looking to ship on the 29th of September, so it will still be within this season. I will just say, as an open transparency, folks, it could even be a little bit earlier than that. It could even be a little bit later. Who knows? If we suddenly run into a further issue, then it could be delayed slightly. Likewise, if suddenly things start moving quicker than we expected, then we might be able to get it. If the printing run comes back quickly, then we might ship out sooner. But yes, so we are taking pre-orders now. There is a bit of a discount by doing the pre-order early. So, if you want to save a little bit of money, then definitely get your pre-order in. Perfect. Nice one, Shah. Thank you very much for ordering. I actually haven't put my order in yet. I need to do that after stream. But yes, so you can see the link down below, or go to achroma.card to pre-order The Last Snow Dragons of Altari. I love that. So, based on the name, folks, you know that there are going to be quite a few dragons, and the fact it's the last Snow Dragons of Altari, it sounds very much like it's kind of like a final battle again, a bit like the Siege of Draco Temple. It's going to be awesome. It's like a video game that gets delayed. It's the initial, oh, that's a shame, but in the long run, it's better than Cyberpunk scenario. Yeah, exactly, Lewis. Exactly. Lewis and Rich ordering. Awesome. Thank you very much, guys, as well. Thank you. But yeah, so it's really exciting times. We've got We've got the name of it. We've got some, some more card art. And obviously the pre-orders have now started. Over the next few weeks, folks, we hope to bring you loads more sneak peeks. And obviously, like I said, once we have got some of the cards absolutely confirmed, not changing, we'll start showing you the cards as well, because we can't wait to show them. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone's patient. And are they good dragons? That's a good question, Aaron. We don't know. And when we know Boom and Crackle will be, they are the best boys. They are the best dragons. But how many other dragons there are? Who knows? I mean, don't forget as well, for those that are actually worrying about dragons and drakes in terms of not being enough of them, don't forget that we did sneak peek at the end of the 24-hour stream that the Dexter's Dragon Riders starter set will be coming out at some point. I don't have any further details for that for you today. I'll hopefully have some more details of that in the coming weeks. But there will be more dragons and drakes in that as well. So keep in mind that it's not just this chapter 2 that's coming out in the near future. Well, there we go. That is all of the Achroma news, events, and previews. Hope you guys enjoyed all of that. I assume the collectors comes in a sleeve-like cove. I don't know for certain, Lewis, only because I haven't been told either way, but I would imagine the answer is going to be yes. I'm pretty certain that's the format they, when they did that for Cove, I think that was because that's the format they want to do for the rest. I will ask the team and get a confirmation for you, but I would say it is a high assumption that the answer is going to be yes. Just got paid too, so I'll be cooking the most stupid action deck possible for my Lost Fairies. Awesome. I think that's the most exciting thing about these Chapter 2 articles, isn't it? Is that you get to start thinking about, Chapter 2 Chronicles, that you get to start thinking about how these cards will work with the previous chapter. I'm really excited. I love the dragons. Awesome. So yes, that is the end of the Achroma news, events, and previews. Next, we move on to the Realm table segment. So for those that are new to the Achroma weekly stream, how this works is I will bring on a guest, normally from the community, but sometimes from the team, and we will discuss some of the hot topics in Achroma this week, or just generally a topic that is interesting to talk about. So this week, I'm joined by Lewis. So let me get Lewis on screen. Hello, Lewis. How you doing, mate?
Hello. Yeah, not bad. Yourself?
Good, thank you. Good to have you as always. Thank you for being on. If we can get a nice hello to Lewis in chat, please. So this week, obviously, Lewis, you already know this. But we're going to be talking about a few of the topics that have been brought up a lot in the Discord, and just have a bit of an open discussion with them to kind of, just have that chat really and air it all out. But first things first, Lewis, how are you, and how have your Achroma games been this week if you've been playing many?
I'm good, and yeah, not bad. Mainly, haven't played too much this week, but we did the other day, Hidden Gem, do some practice games ready for the tournament next week with the Realms Collide, so that was fun.
So you've actually had some practice games with the Realmless. How has that actually gone so far? Because I always said that would actually be quite a fun game mode for us to introduce, but there was always that worry about how chaotic will it be? How chaotic has it been?
Yeah. It's been chaotic, but it hasn't been like this deck is wildly overpowered, because every deck's got access to everything, so it makes it quite interesting.
A bit like Hero,
yeah, I just built a study deck, which is just every card that says a raise or claim, basically.
All right, so it's basically the most heavy control deck you can make.
Yeah, it's been quite fun.
Awesome. I mean, spoiler alert, is that the deck that you're probably going to run for the tournament, or have you got other ideas in the back pocket?
It was fun, but I think I will probably go with Breach Pixies in some way.
Yeah. I guess you probably take the standard Breach Pixies and probably just throw in some good, some cards that are just solid, like, claim cards and stuff like that.
Achroma Blast and Salem Spring and that sort of thing.
Yeah. That is awesome. It's our boy Lewis. It is indeed his. James says his deck is scary. It was Achroma was fun to play. Awesome. Also, just quickly in chat, Lee said, I honestly think those boxes from Realm Runner were the best way to do them. Put the 60 in it with the cardboard split between the pallets. Then the folks have somewhat deck boxes to use. Oh, right. Yes. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
The limited boxes, I assume.
The unlimited edition boxes. Yeah. So the first edition boxes will continue being how they are, Darth, with the single boxes. But obviously, when when Cove gets printed unlimited edition, as Chapter 2 Draco, they obviously will go to those boxes as well. Cool. So I'm glad your week's been good, Lewis. So yeah, we're going to talk about a couple of key things here. So the first one we're going to talk about is So this is a chat that's been very hot topic in the suggestions and feedback channel in the Discord. And for reference, folks, I want you guys in chat to get as involved as possible during this conversation. It's not just me and Lewis, because this will be really interesting for the team to be able to watch back and read. So this first topic is about the promo cards. So there's been a lot of feedback of people that are, for use of a better term, unhappy that we aren't obviously going to be reprinting the promo cards. The idea being that there are some people in the camp that, hey, I want to collect every Achroma card. I can't get my hands on this card unless someone sells one, and there's such a limited number, I'm probably not going to ever get one. And there's also people in the camp of, I just want to use the card for my palette, for my custom palette. I don't care whether it's a limited edition or not. I just want that card for my palette. So the question is around, should we be reprinting them or make art of them? So, Lewis, let's talk about our personal opinions first, and then we'll discuss, we'll discuss objectively, what's been said in the community as well. So what's your opinion on how the promo cards have been done so far?
Yeah, see, for me, it's a difficult subject. I've been playing very much in this called Devil Advocate of this is where other games do it, and people are fine with it in other games. But at the same time, I'm very much like, I want the game to be as accessible as possible. But I also want my card to remain special that I got for playing the game early on. So I think one of the key things is making it so you don't undervalue the original stuff that's come out, but make reprints that make it so that the original cards still have value. They're still, maybe they look better. There's something special about the original printings as opposed to these limited versions you can now get.
Because out of interest, I'll openly say I've never played Magic the Gathering, and I played Pokemon, but over a decade ago. I know you still play a lot of Pokemon. I don't know how much you've dived into Magic. But from your personal experience, I appreciate that it's hard to compare us to those companies because they're multi-million pound companies. We're a little indie game studio in Poole, trying to be bigger, obviously. But do the other companies do the same thing? Are there cards that are limited edition that you can only get your hands on? Or, are these, do they do it in ways that are, this is limited edition, but you could have the non-limited edition version here?
Yeah, so Magic very much, when I stopped playing Magic, did start doing that sort of thing. Pokemon does it all the time. There are cards that are a promo you can only get if you buy a £60 box. There are promos you can only get if you attend a certain event, like the Worlds promo, which has been a big issue lately because it's been a playable card and everyone's like, I have to go to this one event in whatever country it's in and qualify to get to that event to get this special card.
And are they good cards?
So, they weren't designed to be, but the issue with card games is eventually something will come along that breaks it and then everyone wants it. So, yeah.
No, fair enough. And I think there's always going to be two sides to this camp because, you're obviously on the side, and me too, my personal opinion of it is that you're right. I think the biggest thing you said is you don't want to undervalue those that have already got one, because when we've given them out in the past, and to be fair, they've always been for free. You can either get them by coming to an event, get them by coming and seeing us in store. And for, we've quite often run, yes, okay, you had to buy products, but we've always said, hey, if you just happen to buy a product, you get one for free. And it's one of those things that, if we suddenly reprinted them, you don't want to now upset the people that have them. But I think it's got to be, you're always going to have people coming in and going, wait, I can't get every card. Why can't I get every card? That makes me unhappy.
Yeah, and I think it helps that we've now seen with the second Salem release that we're going to get a Steel 2 promo location for, it seems, every single set item going forward. So while they're slightly different, and at the moment players that have the original Curdle Hill promo and the new Salem promo, I've forgotten the set name now, Curdle Cove promo, having one of each in the palette is quite nice because it means you're not going to heroic roll them accidentally. And that is a minor advantage at the moment, but at the same time, if you started playing now in a year's time, you're going to get whatever the third set of Salem's promo is, and you're going to have one of each different one. And there are other ways around it. Personally, I think one thing they could do is we've seen that they aren't doing the special fonts anymore on the location card. They're just using the regular Achroma.
And that's only because Curdle Cove wouldn't fit. That's
yes,
the only
but
reason,
I assume that's probably going to be the reason. That's probably going to be the way it is going forward.
Yeah.
Is I wouldn't be terribly upset at this point if they've reprinted the Curdle Cove promo, the Curdle Hill promo without the special text.
Yeah.
And that was how you distinguished. This is an original one because it's got that special text. This is only for the people who bought into the first 4 sets of Achroma.
Yeah. No, and the more we've been chatting about it in the feedback channel, I also agree. The only issue I can see of that, and I will come to some of the comments in the chat in a moment, folks, is that if we did kind of like alternative art, or like, lesser versions of the promo that is kind of like the unlimited version, as it were, that would definitely solve the issue of gameplay. I know there are some people that they just want a copy of the card to be able to put in their palettes to play with. I think I don't think there's any way to satisfy. There will be people out there that say, no, I want it because I want to collect every card. And at that point, you just go, well, at what point do we...
That's no different to if I start playing Magic now, I want to collect every card, then I'm going back to cards that
I can't have the one
been
ring
printed once. Well, that's especially an example, but yeah, or it's the same with Pokemon as well. Like, if I want to start collecting Pokemon cards, or I want all those out of print, it's going to cost me money to get.
Yeah.
And it is one of those things. Yeah, Achroma is fairly new. There isn't really much of a secondary market yet, but that will change over time. People will start selling their extras.
Yeah.
And it's things like, I've got several Curse of Coda Hill promos. I've got a couple in deck and I've got a couple of spares, but I'm not getting rid of them yet because at the moment I've got no reason to. And maybe over time when I've got, 8 different Salem promos, I might be like, actually, I don't need all 8 of these Curdle Hill promos. I can get rid of a few of them.
Of course.
So yeah, it will change over time. It's just one of those you have to accept in the new game. Maybe not yet.
Yeah. Let's see what chat's saying in the meantime. So yeah, Taurus says, I think the main issue is not devaluing the draw promo cards. Couldn't agree with you more, Taurus. I think that is a critical thing, that if we just simply reprinted the current promos, that would be a massive stinger to anybody that, spent the time and money getting into the game in the first place. Sadistic Dane says, reprint an old art would be fine. Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of does that. Yeah, like an old art. Nutritious, I am a completionist and I sit on the side of offer all cards only because I don't want Achroma have any gating, even in adherent. Sorry, I'm struggling with words today. To new players, I want the game to get all the love. However, I would love to see reprints as not being special. So Nutritious, as a collector yourself, then sitting on that side of the fence, would you be okay with you can get your hands on an unlimited edition that has a slightly different artwork, or slightly lesser artwork, as it were? So it wouldn't be the original, there'd still be one card that has eluded your collection, but at least you have the card in your collection.
But again, there's different types of collectors like that, because we see it in Pokemon. People that are like, I want one of each card, and there's people that want, I want one of each card and one of each artwork of that card as well.
Yeah, it's an extra level.
So again, there's always different levels of collectors and stuff too.
And I think where I definitely, again, to be very clear, folks, I do not make any executive decisions here at Runrunner Studios. I'm just the communications guy. But if it was my decision, I would put a hard line at, there's no way we can satisfy people that say, I want the actual promo card exactly how it is reprinted, because that will just, you'll be satisfying one half of the community, and the other half will be for use of a better term, pissed off.
Also, if you really want that, yes, no one's selling them, but if you posted in the marketplace, I'm buying a Cuddle Hill Prime for £150, someone's gonna be like, yeah, sure, have it.
Yeah, I think actually the marketplace for Achroma has been relatively slim. There's been a couple of boxes that go on eBay and they get snapped up pretty quickly. The marketplace in the Discord is basically non-existent, apart from people saying, I want stuff. If people actually, I hope people don't start sending their Achroma cards, because obviously most people want to play with them, but we're already getting to the point now where if people said, hey, actually, I'm happy with my Sparta cards, I'm going to sell my Curdle and Draco first editions, and here's some promo cards, I'll sell the promo cards individually. People probably could start charging some quite, not extortionate amounts, but people could start charging quite a bit for them, and someone will probably lap them up. Yeah.
And we already know as well, again, people might not know this if they're relatively new. If you go back and look at the Kickstarter, one of the stretch goals was a reprint of the Curse of Curdle Hill promo.
Yeah.
So we already know that is something that has been put on the table at some point previously. So it's definitely not completely out of the picture of never happening.
Yeah.
But it's finding that difficult middle ground. I think, again, as a Kickstarter promo, it would have been fine because it wouldn't have been too many added into the circulation. But if they were just like to reprint it and be like, anyone that buys a Curdle Hill unlimited palette now gets this promo card, people will be like, oh, come on, what's going on here?
I know Taurus.
It has to be different in some way.
Yeah, I agree. It has to be like an unlimited version. Taurus also said, I think a possible solution is to do another run of the original promos for a short time. And I guess that's what you just said, Lewis, there with, with what one of the Kickstarter goals was. I think the only issue with that, Taurus, is that would satisfy everybody now, but then Fast forward 1
You run
year,
into the same issue a year.
issue a year later. New players are going, "Hey, I missed that rerun because I've only just got into the game." And it's it's not people's fault that they only just got into the game a week ago. They might not have seen it. Alternate art promo done in first edition style, shiny. And that's the thing though. If we do an alternate version of the promo, really, we don't want to make it look cooler because then that undervalues the original version. You'd want to make it just a common version, as it were.
But you get that as well in other games where they release a cool version of a new card, and some people are like, "I want to play the cool version." People are like, "I want the original version because that means I had the original version of the card." It's like if you go back into Magic again, or even Pokemon as well, when people are pimping out their decks, most of the time they're not going for the highest rarity version; they're going for the oldest version of the card they can play because that's what they think is the cooler version to play.
Yeah. No, that's fair play. So I'm just going to read a couple of the comments that we got in the Discord as well to bring them up. So a conversation we were having, and again, open, let me guys know what you guys think. One of the things that we always said from Realm Runners Studios as to why we weren't worried about the fact we weren't reprinting promos was that they were always designed to be mid-tier cards. They weren't designed to be cards that are necessary for a palette to be good. And I would still argue to this point that, are they good cards? Yes. Are they cards that make or break a palette? I personally still think no, but a couple of people like Echo, for example, I'm sure he won't mind me saying, he disagreed with that, saying that if you ignore the rares and legendaries and look for cards that hit the opponent's shard bank for 2 or more every turn with a cost net of 2 or fewer shards, there isn't actually that many cards that do 2 steal every turn that aren't rare legendary. So actually, when you look at it, they are good cards. It's just, Lewis, you're a long-term, I say long-term player at this point. You've played a lot of competitions. Would you say that you wouldn't have won in the tournaments, or you wouldn't have won a lot of games if it wasn't for that promo card? How much?
I was playing Ray, so in my Ray deck, that card was not played. However, in Achroma decks, I don't think I built an Achroma deck that hasn't run 2 of the promo location.
Yeah.
Because it is, in Achroma decks, is a very good card. In Chroma decks, not so much. And this probably is the thing of there are more Chroma players than Achroma players, it does seem. But yeah, in Achroma they are very good. And as well, if you look at decks like the Acer Action deck, that deck gets much worse about the Sailing Spring promo.
That's true. That is very, very true. Because that's another thing as well. We've only really been talking so far about the we've only really been talking right now about the location promos, but actually we're not. This conversation also applies to the seasonal ones. The only thing I don't know about the seasonal ones, and again, folks, I don't know the answer to this question, is when it comes to the next Salem chapter, provided that it also lands in spring, because I know, Lewis, you brought up before the idea of maybe swapping around which order we do. But let's say that we do continue. Oh, actually, this is a good question for the community, actually. Let's say that we continue to do release order as, Salem, Draco, Sparta, Norso. So therefore, it will always be Salem Spring, always be Draco Summer, always be, Sparta Fall, whatever it's going to be. Would you guys want to see just the same card reprinted? So it's still the Salem Spring. So, if you didn't get it this year, you've only got to wait till next year to get it. Or would you want another new card?
I think adding a lot of new cards extra each time is a bit much. I think I'm quite happy for it to be a reprint with different artwork, maybe that's more fitting for that realm. Not that realm.
So again, like an alternate art version at that point.
Yeah, just something that's more fitting with the set it's been released with, or something like that.
Like Cove might be black and blue rather than green and blue. Rather than green and black.
I don't think I'd change the colours. I think I'd just change the artwork, because changing the colours then effectively changes the card as well.
Yeah, true,
so you couldn't
really
call it the same thing with different shard colours.
Yeah, because I think that's the issue with it. I could see a couple of you saying that you would like a new card, some of you saying that you'd be happy with the same card again. Because if we did do a different seasonal card every time it comes around again, we then have the same issue with the seasonal cards. Again, Salem Spring. We would need to have a unlimited version of that. And that's something we'd have to do, because again, it's we're not really seeing people complain. Not to say complain, that's the wrong word. Sorry, folks. We're not really seeing people be frustrated at not being able to get the Salem Spring or Draco Summer, because most people that are in the community now were able to get those.
They're quite recent, aren't they? So.
Yeah. So, right now the conversation is around, I can't get a Curse of Curdle Hill or Draco location promo card. But again, fast forward to this time next year, and you're probably going to have people in the community saying, I want a Salem Spring, I want a Draco Summer, I can't get these cards. So it's difficult.
Yeah, I think what I'm personally expecting is that each release we're going to get a new location, which is a still 2 for cost in some variation of colours, and then a reprint of whatever the promo was that was given away for that year. That's kind of what I'm expecting to see going forward, but it's just how people think of what should happen in that sort of way.
Yeah, I love how Dane's just like, I just want more rabid dogs. You know what? I respect it. I respect it, yeah. Yeah, maybe it changes depending on who wins Achroma Chroma. Yeah, very true. Maybe just recycle the season cards and use those, possibly. Again, we're talking a while before Chapter 3 starts, so we've got time to decide that, but it's a good thing to bring up now. I refer back to my previous comment, perhaps better just say no promos. Yeah, and that's the thing, Taurus. I think the reason why I did read that comment, sorry I didn't read it out. I think the issue with us, if we just put a blanket statement out that said, we are not reprinting promos, although
it's hard to go back on that.
Yeah, if we then decide 6 months' time, actually, we now are going to, it's then hard to go back on. Although you're right, that would kind of end the conversation. But we don't really want the conversation to end. Like, although we're addressing it on today's stream because, it's been a hot topic in the community, the reason why we're talking about it is because we always like listening to the community. We've made changes before based on what the community wanted. And although, to be very clear, we're a small indie team, we have to sometimes make decisions based off of things that we're doing in the background. We can't be completely led by the community. We want to keep our community happy. So, we'd rather this conversation to be kept going.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got an issue as well with is when they were announced as there is limited 1,200 print run of these cards. And people might have bought a collector's box because they were told this card was not being reprinted. It's a limited edition.
Exactly. They've spent money to get it, as it were. Well, maybe adding a few holiday cards instead of replacing seasons. Yeah, definitely a controversial thing to do. I'm just throwing out your nuked option. Sadistic says it also makes or breaks for new players. If they come in and want a previous card, never coming back, I can see people leaving. Yeah, this is the catch-22 situation, and this is why we're bringing it up today, is that, yeah, if you suddenly start reprinting cards that were limited, then you get people that originally spent money going, that's really annoying. Well, I'm not gonna play a Chroma anymore. And you have the other side of that coin, which is people coming into the game going, wait, I can't get every card that I want. Well, I also don't want to get into the game. It's a really hard situation to
be. I don't think there's any game you can join and you can buy every card you want directly from the people that make the game, because if stuff gets rotated out, stuff goes out of print in every single different game, and then you rely on the secondary market.
Yeah, it's difficult. And talking from a Roma perspective as well, is the hard thing is, especially when you start comparing us to the likes of Magic and Pokemon, it's very easy for us to say, well, Magic and Pokemon do that. But at the same time, we want to be different. Achroma has always tried to be something different, and we're quite proud of the fact that, a lot of people that get into our game, get into it and go, hey, I've come from Magic. Wow, this is a breath of fresh air. So, maybe we actually do need to be different. It's difficult. So yeah, older mining mini things sell for loot. Isn't it meant to be too easy to get every isn't meant to be too easy to get every card instantly. It's a collection, so slowly build. Yeah, exactly. All right, so we'll leave that topic for now. Obviously, if anyone has any more comments, to put them in chat, but it's good to air it all. And again, I should say as a kind of a closing comment on that topic, I do want to say that, the team is fully aware of this promo chat going around. And, although there are no promises, and I can say now, hand on heart, nothing is currently being worked on. So I'm not going to suddenly say this and then next week, hey, look, promos. But we are actively listening, and, we are not saying the door is completely shut. It is slightly open, but with just no promises that anything will change. But we wanted to have this chat so we could listen to the community and take some ideas and, get a general consensus of where people are at. Of which, to be fair, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, was the overall general consensus seems to be the idea of some form of kind of alternate art version of the promo that's unlimited edition would satisfy the larger majority of the player base.
Yeah, I think so. I think the key thing is making it so the original ones are still special, but making it so the cards are accessible. And I think the best way to do that is make it so none of them have that special title, and that's the original collectors get those, and everyone else just has a regular version. Yeah.
Cool. So we've got a couple more things to discuss on today's roundtable. The next two conversations, I imagine, will probably be a bit shorter because they're a little bit less controversial, but they are other topics that have been quite talked about in the community, since the last weekly. So firstly, and this is one that I'm really interested to see what you guys in the chat say. So it's not really hidden news, I should say, that we are looking to try and build some starter packs to be sold to new stores and to new players. Because one of the most common questions we get when we're selling Achroma at venues is, hey, yep, love your game. You've sold the pitch to me. Brilliant. can I buy the starter pack, please? And we go, here's 20 different palettes you can choose from. Choose. And they're like, oh. So, we are looking to fill that gap. We don't know exactly what with yet, but it's some form of starter pack to suggest. And, as a community, we want to know from you guys, which palettes do you feel are the best palettes for people to learn from? Which palettes should go against each other? Lewis, what's your initial reaction? I think you were one of the ones that messaged in Discord when Dan asked, but what did you say?
Yeah, I mean, I've had people say otherwise, which I find quite interesting. But I think fairies and pixies is very interesting. There's the keywords splat and squish, I think, are quite simple. And the only other things in the set, I think, is defend and poisonous. I think that's it for the keywords in that set. And I think they're all very easy to understand and how they work. There's no complicated cards. I think the most complicated card is probably role reversal. And yeah, other than that, I think it's a great way of just picking up the deck and seeing very clearly how both the Achroma and Achroma factions work differently as well.
See, is it bad that they are simple keywords? I think the only reason why whenever I've taught the game to someone, I avoid Sparta first is, although Splat is an easy concept to remember, it can be quite hard to track, and for new players that can be difficult. Oh wait, who have I splatted? When can I splat? And a lot of people don't realize with Splat that when a lot of people play cards with Splat, they'll just get to their resolve and go, oh, I've got Splat 3, so I'll go up 3. Oh, I've got Splat 1 here, I've got 1. But actually, you do need to be keeping track of which cards have you splatted and which cards have resolved and haven't resolved, and it can get tricky. But I do agree with you that once you get your head around what Splat and Squish is, it probably is one of the easier realms.
Yeah. Also, when you're playing with the starter decks, there isn't going to be too much of I've got 6 different splatters on my board doing different things.
Yeah,
I'm going to do this thing during my resolve to do this. You're not going to be doing that in a starter game. That's the sort of thing you start learning when you get into more complicated builds.
That's fair. So I personally said, again, it might be biased because these were the two that I learnt first. I personally think Dragons or Salem. Dragons because Sacrifice and Research, although they aren't intuitive straight away, you don't just see the word research and go, oh, I know what I'm doing. As soon as it's been explained once, it tends to be, that sticks. And the rest of the cards, again, like you said, there's not really many complicated cards in Draco. Same thing in Salem. I feel like Claim and Restrain, once you've been told, hey, here's what Claim does, and when it gets unclaimed and restrained, here's what that does. After that, I feel it's quite simple. But again, I could be convinced otherwise.
Yeah, I think, they are very simple. I think Sacrifice is a bit of a tricky one, just as in the way that it works and paying the additional cost on the card. And also, I don't personally think that Dragons versus Drakes is terribly balanced.
No, I agree. It's not. No.
I think that's my main issue with that set. I think if you take a Fairy and a Pixie deck, they're gonna 50-50 most of the time on who wins.
No, that's true.
I think with Drakes and Dragons, it's not that case.
I would say, on that note then, as a kind of a compromise, I would say Mage's Elite versus Occultists does tend to be quite well balanced too. Yeah,
and very much so. I think Claim is very simple. I think Restrain is the one that people tend to have issues with of how restraining works.
Yeah, whether
and
it's
we even have
canvas.
Old players sometimes with, I've done this, how is this working? Do they lose this? Do they keep that?
Yeah.
And it can be hard to keep track of sometimes. But yeah, generally it is fairly simple, but Restrain is a tricky one there.
Yeah. So let's see what people said in chat. So, James says either Salem or Norso. Interesting. I think with Norso, I'd say Norso.
I would not say Norso at all.
I guess it really is subjective because some people probably pick it up really quickly and go, hey, I picked that up, that's fine. Yeah, I think Norso, trade is easy to understand. Shield
Trade is easy to understand, but it's hard to play well.
Yes, that is true. Shield Wall, a lot of people confuse it early on to think, hey, I get extra health because that's what you think it's going to be. But as soon as you've learned, oh wait, it's just damage, then that's easy. And to be fair, Rage again is actually quite an eeasy one. It's just that it's understanding the minutiae of Rage, like the fact that if you had a character
shard
with
damage
rage,
stays on and that sort of thing.
Exactly. So if you had a character, again, I might blow some people's minds here, but something about Rage that a lot of people forget is that let's say you had a character and then you give them an object like a Briscavi fishing spear that gives them Rage. If you do your first attack, the first attack you do is always your standard attack, not the Rage attack. So if you do your first attack and you lose the Briscavi fishing spear because of the damage, you now can't attack again. You lose the opportunity to have that Rage because you've now lost the object. The first attack is always your standard attack, and a lot of people don't realize that. James says, yeah, I wasn't meaning shield, I was meaning more trading. That's fair enough. Sadistic said, I only have Salem. I wanted dragons, but Shaz bought them and went for my second choice. I'm glad I did. Yeah, most people seem to be saying Salem or dragons. Okay, fair enough.
I do think that'll be interesting, though, because we know that dragon is the most popular one that people pick up.
Because of the artwork,
and I think that with Dex's Dragon Riders, I think we might see that increase even more. People will buy Dex's Dragon Riders as their go-to. This is your intro to Achroma, learn how to play it, and then they'll be like, I'll buy more dragon stuff to go with it.
Yeah, and obviously the Dexter's Dragon Riders is being more aimed at kids or the younger generation because they are simpler cards, as it were, to learn. But at the same time, that might actually work perfectly as a, hey, buy these first. This will teach you the basics of the game, and then buy more. So yeah, that could work too.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I imagine that's going to be quite a short conversation. If you guys have any other ideas about which palettes you think would be good for new players to begin with, then do let us know either in chat or in Discord. The last conversation I wanted to have for the last sort of 5-10 minutes maximum is, and I think we both already know the answer to this, but again, it's just interesting to see what the community say. There's also been a lot of people feeding back, and this is something we get fed back all the time, but it's good to have a conversation with the community about it, and that is around the color blindness issue. I say issue again, it's a concern that a lot of people have suggested that we have our 6 colors in the center hex, and for people that are colorblind, even partially, for some people it can be a struggle to see which colors are on there. Now, before I kind of go through what's been said in Discord, what's your initial kind of opinion on this with Lewis?
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite fortunate. I don't have any sort of like color differentiation issues. I can actually see it all fairly clearly. The only one I can struggle with is across the table I can hide between blue and Achroma. That can be a struggle sometimes. But yeah, I do agree that something should be done to make it better for people like that. Personally, I feel like just a small symbol inside of the Achroma triangle, the triangle there for each one, and you can have it relating. So green growth have a plant, tree, leaf, something like that. Radiance have a ray of light or something. Just give each one a nice symbol that makes it easy to distinguish.
Yeah, absolutely. And so to discuss some of the kind of options people have said, so some people have suggested that we change the colors entirely to have like orange or something like that. And to be very clear, we can say, this is one time that we can be like a firm no, we will never be changing the actual colors themselves to, even though that might make them clearer. The reason why is, as a lot of you do know, the colors are all based on lore reasons. It's not just random colors. So we wouldn't be able to do that. Some people have suggested we do different hues of the colors. Although that it would be a shame to have cards that then mismatch, that could even cause more confusion. Because if you're playing with some of the older cards versus some of the newer cards, what hue is that? But that is something that we could do.
The thing is, I think you want something that's universal for every different type of color blindness, and hues isn't that. So if you're doing hues, you then got to print. Here's this version of hue. Here's this version of hue. Here's this version of hue, and you're just like, well, we're just piling on to extra stuff now.
Yeah, I think I agree that if we were to ever change anything, I think either a simple letter or a symbol for each, like you said, yellow radiance, that could be a little ray of light or a little sun symbol. Red, which is fire, could be a little fire symbol. I mean, let's go through it. You'd have fire for fire, or a little sun for radiance. Growth could be like a little leaf, or a little stem. Dark blue could just be a single wave for water. Cyan is ice. How could you? I guess you could do like a frost symbol. Could be like a little, like a
snowflake.
Like a snowflake, yeah. Innovation. Oh, I like that one. Shah says a cog, like a cog wheel. Because innovation is about kind of chroma ore creating. Here it says could be a square for ice. Yeah, very true. And then what else we missed?
Achroma.
Oh wait, magenta. No, we did magenta. Have we done all the colors?
I think it's just Achroma. I think it's Achroma I'm missing.
Oh, Achroma. And I guess
Achroma is one that I'm not sure what I do. Maybe have like an ooze sort of thing, because in most depictions of Achroma it's very oozy.
Yeah, it could be an ooze, or it could just be a teardrop, maybe. Yeah, a teardrop could work, or just like an ooze or a drop, almost a bit like one drop of the bathed in Achroma thing, or crosses. That could work too. Hey, Marco, good to see you. But yeah, so I think if we were to make that change, I think that would be the most likely change that happens. Again, to be very clear, folks, I'm just the communications man here. I have not heard of any potential changes. It's just that this is a conversation that is happening in the community, and it's good to have it. I mean, again, for those in chat, how would people feel about if we did, if we made that change and started making it so the next print of unlimited cards and all the next first edition cards all suddenly had these symbols? Would anybody be unhappy about that? The fact that you might have some mismatch of you might have first edition cards that don't have them unlimited that do. Is there any collectors out there that would be frustrated by that because now your collection of unlimited edition whatever logos? What's your opinion on that, Lewis? Would you care?
No, I think it's fine. If you look at, and again, going back to Magic, Pokemon, over time they all change how their cards look because they learned from how they did it previously. They make it look more clear, they make it easier to read. And this is one of those things that, in your deck you'll have a mismatch and there'll be unlimited versions that you can buy if you want to have the more up-to-date looking style. But at the end of the day, it's all about making it more accessible to more people, and I don't see how anyone can be upset about that personally.
Yeah, I think I don't think anyone. I'd hope that no one would be upset about the reasonings for it, because otherwise they're probably not a very nice, not a very nice person. Hey, why are you making this game more accessible? But obviously, at the same time, we wouldn't want to upset anyone in the community that has gone, hey, I wanted to collect all the cards looking the same, and now you've changed, how the next sets look. Especially, let's say that it's probably too late to make those changes for Draco now, but imagine we did that for Sparata like midway through a chapter. Yeah, I mean, it would be you are right, James. It would be a little bit selfish if people didn't like it. If it was for hey, but I understand why. Because, I do know that there are some people that have bought Achroma cards and they don't play with them. I know there are a few people out there that just literally want a collection of cards. And for those people,
but at the same time, hey, you've got this rarer version that hasn't got those symbols on it. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, very true. Well, I'm glad to see that, although it's a very small pool of the community in the stream right now. It's nice to see that everybody does actually go, yeah, I would like that. So I will pass that back to the team. Cool. Well, this has been very healthy because and I will aim to do this a bit more. Normally, these realm table chats have just been like, hey, what's your favorite palette to play at the moment or whatever. I will be taking some of the most talked about topics and talking about them more on the stream because I think it is quite important. But yeah, so kind of just to summarize there, for those that maybe have only just come in. So we've talked about the promo cards and whether we should potentially reprint them with alternatives. The general consensus seems to be alt arts would be nice just so people could have a version of it. We spoke about which palettes would work best as starter palettes. People tend to be leaning towards Salem and Draco, a little bit of Sparata, but I think we agree that Dexter's Dragon Riders would be good for that. And we've spoken about the Realm Runner Studios, how we can manage kind of color blindness, and it seems to be most people would be happy with symbols. Nutrition says it's darker in Scotland. Symbols would help me see. Yeah, accessible for all, exactly. Well, any final comments from yourself, Lewis, on any of these topics that you didn't get a chance to say?
No, I don't think so. I think they're all things that Realm Runner will have to tackle in an interesting way, and it's interesting to see what they come up with. I just hope that maybe they'll be like, this is what we're thinking. What do people think of us? Let's share solutions for these as well, so we can all have a discussion about when that comes up. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that is a very valid comment. That ideally, if we are about to make a big change like that, potentially speaking to the community first and saying, hey, here's what we're potentially doing. Although it's tough because if we do that and then half the community goes, no, we don't want it, we might still do it anyway. But
I thought the feedback should be what do you think? Could this be improved in some way? Not do you want this to happen or not? Yeah.
No, that's a good point. Yeah. Not just do you guys want to push the button or not? Just hey, are we doing it right? That makes sense. Nutrition says, accessibility trumps all of the concerns in my mind. Very true. Well, can we get a round of thank yous in chat to Lewis? Because Lewis, thank you very much for joining me on the round table. I appreciate it was quite last minute for you today. And as always, it's great to get your insight on these community issues. Because I appreciate you can be very fair when it comes to opinions of all different people. Thank you very much, mate. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and hopefully play some games soon.
Yeah, speak soon.
All right, speak to you soon, buddy. See you in a bit.
Bye.
Alrighty. Yeah, nice one, Lewis. Making the game colorblind accessible will bring some players to the game just off of that. I know some people buy the video games if he finds out they've got good settings. Oh, good to know. Good to know. In terms of games after stream, I personally can't play games after stream, which, to be very clear, folks, I know that I used to play games after stream religiously, and I do want to get back to that. For those that don't know, most of you do know at the moment, we have a puppy in the house, I have to go look at a puppy. Like, the puppy normally goes to bed at about 9 p.m, but Rhea has D&D on these nights, my wife, and I have the Achroma Weekly. So we've had to put him down for a nap whilst I did the Achroma Weekly. So he will want to, basically, he's probably barking in his crate now, and I probably just can't hear him. He probably wants to come up, so I'm going to unfortunately have to finish the stream when I do and go deal with the dog. But to be very clear, once kind of things have settled down with the puppy, you will absolutely start seeing me more after the weekly stream playing games. And I am looking to get back into the Wednesday weekly games as well, because I've been missing doing that as well. I appreciate I've been a little bit vacant when it comes to games recently, but that's not through me not wanting to play Achroma. It's just purely down to how busy I've been, folks. But I am looking to play some games. Anyway, the stream is not over just yet, though. The stream is not over just yet. I want to see the pupper. Can't get him on stream today, unfortunately, because if I take him out of his crate, he'll go nuts. But I'll put some more photos in the Discord for you. How about that, Shah? I can't bring him on stream. Otherwise he'll be then barking out the door. But yes, the last bit of the stream then is the community showcase, where we are going to be turning the camera on you guys, as it were, and showing some of the amazing artwork and palette creations that you guys have created this week. We've got quite a bit to show, actually, because you guys, obviously it's been 2 weeks. So the first thing is actually from me, something that, it's not something that I created. It's something that I had paid to be created. So a lot of you guys know that I have a persona, and I play a lot of VR chat outside of Achroma. And I recently got a new VR avatar made, which you can see on screen now. There was the opportunity to add a hoodie to my avatar. And I was like, the artist I was commissioning, I was like, can you do this? And I sent them an image of my Achroma hoodie, and he made it in VR chat for me. So whenever I play VR chat now, I rep Achroma. And I was playing VR chat yesterday. I had a few people ask me like, oh, what's Achroma? So it's working well. But you're right, Lewis, it does need the upside down funguar pin. I'll get back in contact with the artist and see if he can add it. If he can actually make it so it can like spin around, that'd be awesome. But yes, so that is the Achroma hoodie. We do have some artwork as well, though. So the first bit of artwork I actually want to show is from Shah in the Discord. So they, about a week and a half ago, they took the ideas from the Achroma cookbook conversation that we had, and they drew some of the potential recipe designs. So let's have a look at some of these. So we have Tufster's Pina Colada, which I love this. I dipped out a stream to have food literally just before you announced the pre-orders. Order it now. Hey, very nice, and that is amazing, buddy. Thank you very, very much. I hope your dinner was good. So yeah, we have Tufter's Pina Colada. I love the idea of your little Tufter just having a little drink out of a coconut. Very, very cute. We have here Delilah's, I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit. Delilah's Cauldron Soup. Again, looks beautiful. Scorched Stone Rolls. Again, I think those look really tasty. And Funguar's apple pie. I love these. These are so well drawn by Shah. They're really, really good. And again, the more I think about it, the more I really want us to do a cookbook. I think that'd be hilarious, but also actually very good. But no, very good. And we have one more as well, which is the Chroma cookies and Achroma cookies, which this one sits very close to my heart because I drew a Chroma cookie in one of my first artwork. So I'm glad that you've brought them to life there, Shah. So thank you very, very much. Which, if these two are real, what would you guys go in the chat? Would you go for the Chroma cookie or the Achroma cookie? Are you guys more of a double choc chip or more of a rainbow cookie? I personally would probably go for the rainbow. Yeah, over the winter months, I plan to do some Achroma recipes. That's awesome. Funguar is poisonous and apples always are in fairy tales. Don't eat it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't question why it's free and being handed out to everybody. Rainbow, you go for the double. Chroma, because you like the shading. Yeah, the shading is nice. Yeah. I mean, like even like in real life, I actually do prefer a kind of a rainbow cookie. Very nice. So yeah, so we had some. I'll be greedy and mix them both. Nice. So yeah, so we've had those pictures from Shah. Thank you very much, Shah. Those were awesome. The next thing is we actually have some more images from Shah. Funnily enough, so this was Shah drawing a watercolor dragon. So Shah took this reference picture, as you can see there, and drew this awesome dragon on the left. And then I'll show you the final image, as this is it colored, which I think this looks awesome. This kind of looks like a combination between the dragons from Draco Temple and the ones from Altari. It's got the fuzziness around the head that would make it potentially a dragon from the north. But yeah, you know what? That could even be an Ignis Alt art, to be honest. Yeah, they're really cool, aren't they? Really, really cool drawing. And you know what? I've noticed, Shah, you've been on very much a creator spree recently, but it's been fantastic to see. I will say now, Shah, that your Chroma Worm one isn't in today's stream, but it will be in next week's stream, because I had so much art to show this week that I thought, you know what, I'll do that next week. But yeah, really, really cool artwork. So well done, Shah, for this. As a reminder, all of this artwork is in the fan content channel of the Discord if anybody wants to check it out later or leave any comments. But yeah, great work there, Shah. Again, love the fact it's watercolor as well. And then next we had a couple of cards from Nutritious, who I believe is in the stream. He's called Dave, I'm sure he won't mind me saying. Dave's kids actually drew these. So you can see here that they are also from the Wizarding Realm. Whether it's Salem Planum or another Wizarding Realm, they haven't disclosed. There might be a little bit of copyright issues if we were to print these. But you can see here we've got heroic character, wizard, Albus Dumbledore right here. If you have 3 or more wizards on your canvas, then Albus Dumbledore cannot be raised with a resolve of +4. Obviously, he's going to be a 6-cost card. I think there's a little bit of Achroma in him. Oh, there's a little bit of darkness in Albus. Very nice, but brilliantly drawn. I love the creative idea here. I love it when, especially, I really like it when kids get involved and start getting creative with other cards. You know, we've seen some people do some D&D based Achroma cards, so why not some Harry Potter ones? And on that note, here is the other one from Dave's kids. So obviously, we had to have Harry Potter as well. Yeah, exactly. Time to contact Warner Bros. And get that crossover going. So we got Harry Potter, who is, 5 shard cost. Oh, maybe that's why... Oh yeah, I think Albus Dumbledore was also 5 shard cost. I think that's why that's not Achroma. I think that's he just only cost 5. So yeah, we've got Harry Potter here. Good drawing of Harry with the scar. And X is the number of wizards and witches on your canvas. So you can, for every witch and wizard you get, you can gain another shard, which I think is very cool as well. I do love how they made their own symbols. Yeah, I really like that as well. Yeah, so for those who don't know, the symbols that are always on the end of the lines are actually specific to the realm. So yes, I also agree how they've almost done like these kind of magic potion pots. This one's actually colored with a rainbow. For the realm as well. Yeah, really, really creative. Fantastic to see. Well, hopefully, you know, Nutritious, I appreciate your kids may be in bed now, but, you know, if they do draw some more, please send them our way. We'd love to show them on stream again, whether it's more Harry Potter or maybe some Lord of the Rings next week. Who knows? It's fantastic to see. Yeah, the potion valves, they're really, really cool. We love to see some artwork. And don't forget as well, I'll plug it again now, that we now do have another art competition. Check out the Discord after stream to see more details, or rewind this stream to see it. Oh, Star Wars, that could be cool. I want to see a Jar Jar Binks. Mr. Achroma. But yes, if you are someone who does drawings, or you know someone that draws, or just want to have a go yourself, please get involved in the art competition, because you might have one of your drawings actually on an Achroma card, which would be amazing. But yeah, so that is all of the Achroma art to show you today. Very, very good. So well done to Shah, Dave's kids, and the person I commissioned to make my VR avatar for the amazing Achroma art. It's time. It's more for me to draw. Exactly. It's more for you to draw. Jar Jar would be 6 cost purely to pure Achroma character. Oh yeah, he's pure evil. You know it. So to finish off then, I have a few palette builds to show you. The first one I want to show is from Mojo in the Discord. So this is a Achroma Burst palette. I'll read out what Mojo said about it, and you guys in chat, you know, feel free to constructively criticize and say what you like about it. As a reminder, if you want to see these palettes, they are under the Canvas forum in the Discord. So Mojo Bean said about this one, I love the idea of this deck, but definitely needs some work. Achroma Blast is a great card, but feel like it works amazing in the palette. However, the character count and countess don't seem enough. The occultists don't seem like enough, so I went down the location path with the object bowling to try and get some big numbers in. Stealing opposing locations and characters has worked really well so far. The deck hasn't lost currently out of 7 games, but it always feels like it could be doing more. Advice is welcome. So yeah, you can see here it's gone very much down the occultist route. So you got Isadora, Pefarius, and then as many occultists as you can get with the sappers, the warlocks, the shamans, the rabid dogs, obviously not occultists, but good characters. Obviously the corrupted Muon traps, the Bolines, some strong locations, some hostile takeovers, occultist influence, Achroma Blast. Very, very good. So I think for me personally, considering that you're trying to make this a bit of an Achroma Burst palette, I would say you definitely want to add some Arabella's Recipes into this. Arabella's Recipe is the card which costs 2 and allows you to steal 1 for every card that has a Chroma color and an Achroma color. And actually, if you look here, I appreciate it's a perfect scenario, but you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You've got 10 potential cards that have Achroma and Chroma. So Arabella's Recipe could be good. I'd maybe swap out the Crazed Curdle Resident for at least one of those. And maybe swap out the Hexclunker Parts for the other one. I would also say Crazed Curdle Resident, I don't really rate. I'd maybe take out, considering he's only a wizard, I'd maybe take out the Resident and put in another Shaman, because that will benefit Befarius and Isadora. And the Shamans can dig for the Sappers. I appreciate Shaman doesn't really get you much for 3, you know, but it still is another occultist. But yeah, I think that's all I would really change. And maybe rather than Curdle Lane, if you do happen to have Curdle Cove cards, swap out Curdle Lane for Curdle Cave, I think is the one that is Achroma. It's kind of like Road to Ludlam, but in the Curdle Cove. It's Achroma and a color, and it makes it a steal. Therefore, you are going to have even more cards that would play into Arabella's Recipe and more steal rather than drain. So yeah, that's what I would do with this palette. But again, I like it. You know, the use of Pure and Sintamani Stone is obviously huge. Achroma Converter, the Corrupted Muon Traps, and Hostile Takeovers are all amazing control cards. Everything is very relatively cheap cost as well, so you're going to get a lot of value. I think it's a really good palette. I'll say it again, I love this palette. Yeah, it's really, really good. Really, really good. I've discussed some of the tweaks that I would do, but even as it stands, it is very, very strong. Swap Craze for Fireballs. Yeah, that's a good point. You could maybe put a Fireball in there as well for a bit more control. Lewis says, Jar Jar has annoying one, quote, Jar Jar Link in Jar Jar voice. Oh, wait. Oh, Jar Jar has annoy one. Quote a Jar Jar Link in Jar Jar voice to drain 1 shard. I see. Yeah, like an ability. But yeah, I think it's a really good build. So well done to Mojo for this one. If you guys want to look at that build or give it any further advice, then you can do it in the Canvas forum. The other palette I want to show is the one that Dickon has actually put into the channel only earlier today. So I'll read this out. This is called Fisto's Secretly. Play on words, they're secret. Fisto is secretly a Chroma hero. So for this palette, Dickon went for a heavy focus into secrets with 8 cards that steal cards as secrets from my opponent. So the plan is you would be secreting from opponents. I admit I struggle to use Raven Sight effectively. I have 9 cards that support my secret keepers with 12 locations. Cove of Plenty keeps my hand full. I use Bothy to protect Fisto. Fisto, as we know, is when a card is erased from a canvas, I gain the shards value of the erased cards. Secret keepers get erased to play their secrets, making this a nice generator of shards. The Luxmorn Lighthouse and Main Street are good to keep the keepers alive when Fisto isn't around. The good combo here is when Fisto and Willard Family Crypt is on the field. I erase a secret keeper, gain the shards, and then pay 2 to put them in the crypt. You then erase the crypt, gaining 4 shards and another card, and repaying the secret keeper to another one. Yeah, which is pretty cool. So what you're saying there is it's a very cool ability. So you'd have Willard Family Crypt out, which is when you reveal a secret and you can raise its keeper, you may pay 2 shards to place it as a secret. So the idea is you'd have another card out, like, you know, let's say Luxmorn Villager, for example, that you've got a secret under. Let's say you had Fisto out. You would at the start of your turn, erase your Luxmorn Villager to play the secret. Because you erase Luxmorn Villager, you get the shard for it because of Fisto. You pay 2 shards to put it under Willard Family Crypt, and then next turn, when you then erase Willard Family Crypt, you get the 4 shards back because of Fisto, and then you get to replay your Luxmorn Villager for free. So yeah, it's a bit, you know, there's definitely some really tough combos to pull off this one. Like, this is one of those palettes that I would imagine is going to be really fun to play when it works, but really frustrating and slow when it doesn't. But yeah, I agree, it's a good build. It's different. I like different. You know, as he said, Cove of Plenty, really good card. Whenever you deploy a location, draw a card. You know, there's loads of locations, so you get loads of card draw out of that. I think the only thing with this palette is it's going to be slow to actually win with Chroma. You know, you've got some decent gain from some of the locations, so, you know, some +1s and some +2s. Violet Quintessence, obviously for a little bit of a burst. But really, your biggest struggle here is going to be, this is going to be a slow Chroma win, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's a late game build. You can actually activate the crypt same turn. Yes, actually, that's very true. That's very true. You could reveal Luxmorn Villager, under the crypt and then do crypt. So yes, you're right. You can actually do it in one turn. Yeah. Nutritious, missed my kids' cards, but they made like 6 more now. Brilliant. Well, please post them in the Discord, Dave, and we'd love to show them on stream. And make sure to tell them about the giveaway that we're doing. If you didn't hear about it, we are doing a alt art giveaway where, yourself and your kids can have a go at drawing a alternate art version of a Cove card. We're going to be picking 3 of them to be printing as real cards. There is no... They don't need to be the best drawing ever. I appreciate kids are kids. Like, they don't have to be a work of art. I mean, everything's art, but you know what I mean? They don't have to be Achroma quality. We take the images, we upscale them before we print them. We're looking for creative ideas. We're not looking for the best drawing ever. Card draw and free cards being played. That could be really strong. Yeah. Absolutely. Like, I think the best way to summarize this palette, and this is why I wanted to show it on stream, is it's different because is it going to win all the time? Probably not. Is it going to win quickly? Absolutely not. But when it works, is it going to be really fun? Yeah, and that's why I like it. So yeah, if you have any other feedback for this palette, then you can go to the Canvas forum and check out the palette on there and give us some comments. But well done, Dickon, for creating this palette. Great to see it, and glad I could shop and stream. Cool. So with that, folks, that is the end of the Achroma weekly stream. It's been a busy one, but then again, we did have a couple of weeks off, so it's always a bit busier. Just to kind of recap a little bit, folks, for those who weren't here at the start, we said about how the TTRPG dice are in motion. The Achroma cast is unfortunately being halted. We've got the Curdle Cove alt art competition coming. We've got the 5 Realms Gaming Lounge this Thursday if you want to be part of that Achroma Thursdays. We've got the Hidden Gem Realms Collide Tournament this Friday. We've got the Draco Summer Grand Tournament coming later this month, which the tickets are now live, link down below. We showed some of the sneak peeks of the Draco Chapter 2 artwork, of which they'll be in the Discord after stream, as well as announce the name of the Draco 2 chapter and the fact that pre-orders are now live. You can pre-order with the link down below. We had a really good Realm table discussion with Lewis and the community talking about some hot topics, and a great community showcase at the end. Oh, sorry. You're absolutely right, Lewis. I skipped a bit. When I started the community showcase, I skipped straight past the creator content and went straight to the fan made. I'll put it down to it's really hot in this room. So the stream is not over. Before I end, normally I would have done it before, so I'm sorry that I skipped straight to the images. But I do like to always promote the Achroma creators on the stream as well, and we have had a load. So in no particular order, on the Draco Temple website, which is a blog, you can see all the links to these Achroma creators are in the description down below. So in no particular order, Draco Temple, which is a blog website, has had a couple of new articles in the last few weeks. Specifically, Echo has been running some challenges where he posts you a scenario and you've got to figure out how you win in one turn with that scenario. So definitely check those out. They're really, really engaging. On the Achroma.tools website, we have had the article on the Hidden Gem tourney. I promise you, it was actually in my notes. Hidden Gem recently did a tournament which was Achroma only, which was really different. And the Achroma Tools website, ran by Lewis, ran an article on it which explained how the tournament went in really good detail. Really worth a read, really insightful. Definitely check that out. Again, link down below. And the other big one to mention is that the Playing Achroma at blogspot.com. So they are someone in the community that has also been running a blog, but they've also now, and they have done a few more blog posts. Yeah, it's you. They have done a couple more articles in the last few weeks, some really good ones. Specifically, they did one detailing about the 24-hour live stream. They did a really good one detailing about the keyword secret and their opinions on it. And they've again, link down below to check those out. And I also linked, they've just started a YouTube channel where they've been posting some YouTube shorts. Some of them have been about informational, kind of like how to do certain keywords. Some of them have just been some really interesting information about Achroma. So, they've just started out on YouTube. So please, please, please go click down below, go subscribe to them, go give them some support. As it's there aren't that many Achroma creators out there, so we need to be supporting each other. That would be fantastic. So please go check it out. Hey Ben, how you doing? Is the Achroma Weekly uploaded to YouTube after the stream? Yes, the very second that I click end stream, Ben, it's there to rewatch. You can go to the Achroma YouTube channel. There's a tab for live streams, and you can watch any of the previous live streams, and literally the split second that I click stop stream, which will be in a moment or two, you can watch it back straight away from the very beginning. But yes, and it's always in the same order. So it's always news, events, previews, realm table, showcase. So, you know, if you only really want to see the previews, you know, you can kind of skip along and find where you need it. But yeah, no worries at all, Ben. No worries at all. Cool. So that is the end of the Achroma weekly stream. It's been a very busy one. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Obviously, I took a break last week because of the 24-hour stream, but we are now back to a regular weekly schedule. So I will be here this time, 7 p.m. next Sunday for the Achroma weekly stream. All the details will be in the Discord about the sneak peeks and the previews. But otherwise, folks, a massive thank you to everybody that has been here live with me, because it always, you know, I always love it when you guys are nice and talkative on the stream. It just makes my job even easier. Thank you to everybody that has watched the replay as well. Thank you to Lewis that joined me in the Achroma realm table this evening. So yeah, I have been Charles Barton, otherwise known as Viridian, the Achroma community coordinator. I'll be here 7 p.m. next week, and I'll be active in the Discord all throughout the week. That's where you can catch me. I'll see you in the next one, folks. See you around. Bye-bye.